Hello everyone and welcome back to the show. I'm Matt, your host, and today we're reviewing Fallout 1. Released in 1997 as a spiritual successor to a game called Wasteland, it met fairly warm reception. Though most of you already know this, and if not, I'll link a fantastic video by Chris Davis in the description below. So, instead of a comprehensive history, I'm going to review the game and most games moving forward from today's perspective, to help you decide whether to play or not to play. Okay, here are some guidelines, some rules I'm giving myself for the review to be easier to understand. I'm going to use multiple categories weighed against a ranking system. Then I'll end the review with an overview and summary. Sound good? Great. Here's how it works. There are 10 criteria. Story, world, dialogue, in some cases graphics, factions, combat, characters, immersion, music, and loot/looting. Each of these will either be given a point, half a point, or none at all. Also, if the game is extremely good and excels in multiple areas, I can grant the game 1 extra point. It's pretty straightforward. And of course, these 10 categories and criteria will be changed depending on the type of game I'm reviewing. But the list on the screen now is what we'll be using for this review. So I welcome you to this post-nuclear review of Fallout. In reality, nothing is black and white, and at risk of quoting Star Wars, there is no light or dark, there is only gray. Not many games in the history of the industry could truly capture that sense of uncertainty, but the creators of Fallout seem to understand this gray morality. And at times, their story evoked emotion, and if not emotion, then at least they made you think before doing. The story starts fairly simple and grows into a strange, eerie, and at times funny masterpiece. But not all masterpieces are perfect, and Fallout definitely isn't. The story drags at times, and doesn't catalog the information you gather for quests very well at all. You often get lost when you're doing a quest, and it takes more than one playthrough to have a smooth story. But overall, the story is great. But then again, I am fairly biased with this game. Not because it's my first game, far from it, or because of nostalgia. The first time I played this game was in 2017. So it's definitely not that. I couldn't possibly be nostalgic about this game because of how recent I played it. I'm biased because of something in the game. Its story. It keeps me coming back over and over again. I don't know what it is about it. It's what makes Fallout so fantastic. It's just something in it that's just so perfectly orchestrated to create this picture, this dystopian future, this tapestry of morality. But I've gone on long enough about the story, and I'm just going to get right to the point because I don't want to spoil very much for you. I grant the story 1 full point, to which it is definitely deserving. From when you exit the vault to when you enter the cathedral, the world feels so open. You can do mostly whatever you want as long as you do it within the timer, the water timer, the timer that they give you to save your people from dehydration. This timer has been patched in some of the later fixes. But if you're like me, you don't use those. I personally like the sense of urgency. It drives the story and reminds you that there are people that need your help. And it makes the world seem all that more alive. In my travels, I found everything from aliens, boxes of food and resources, and plus more. These special and random encounters painted a picture of a living and breathing world. So I score 1 full point to the to immersion and the world. Not all dialogue in this game is scripted, but it makes up for it with good writing and characters. And the characters that are scripted are fantastic. The dialogue is branching, pretty much like what you would see in a modern RPG, with skill checks and the like. And I don't want to spoil the characters too much, because I think you should play Fallout. I don't want to spoil this 20-year-old game for you, So I'll just rank them. Dialogue gets 1 point, and characters gets 1 point as well. There aren't many factions in the game. There are a few that are really in-depth and interesting. The Brotherhood of Steel, for example, are important to the main quest, but their side quests come off as bland and uninteresting. And that's just one example of the bad faction design. Don't get me wrong, there are good factions with interesting quests, like the Followers of the Apocalypse, or the Circle, but they are far and few between, so factions score half a point. This isn't supposed to detract from the fun and fantastic quests that are apart from the factions, but it's just my opinion about the factions and aforementioned quests associated with those factions. There's not a lot I can say about this. The looting is slow due to a lack of a loot all function, but the overall loot is pretty fun and interesting. But it's not very good. As in, like, the textures are not very good. They are kind of choppy and don't seem to be the same on the ground as they are in your hand or in your inventory. So loot and looting scores only with half a point. Okay, I want to say it's great and fun, but that would be a lie. The combat is slow even on the fastest setting, and it's turn-based, which probably adds to its clunky feeling. And if you're not on really easy or not spec'd right, the game is really hard and difficult. So I'm going to have to score the combat with half a point, because if done a certain way, it can be really fun, but on your first playthrough, you're most likely not to have a very good time with the combat, which is sad seeing as it's such a great game. I don't judge old games on graphics, but I don't think they're that bad in this one. They're not the best, but they hold up fairly well, even if it's been 20 years. Well, yeah, there's not much to be said. I'm scoring graphics with half a point. Okay, last section. And oh, did I save the best for last. The music is fantastic. And it's difficult not to mention the intro song Maybe by the Ink Spots. And it's also very difficult not to mention the band themselves, the Ink Spots, who are very iconic to the series, having their songs played in multiple of the games. Now, for the sake of convenience, I'm going to score music right now with 1 full point. And for the next couple minutes, more like the next minute, or however long I choose, I'm going to play some scores from the game's areas. So, enjoy. Okay, now that we're out of all of those sections, I'd like to do the overview. So on your screen now, you should see this this chart that I've made. A chart showing a red, yellow, and green. It will show the points that I've given, distributed, and the overall points on the chart. Now, the chart means red. On the chart, these things mean different things. The red means don't buy, it's bad. The yellow means you should buy it, but at a discounted price. Or also it's like cautiously buy it, like it's mediocre basically. And green means definitely buy it. It's a good game, right? And of course there are tiers to that. And you can see now that we get all the way up to tier 8, which is into the green, by quite a bit. Which is, I mean, good. Well, I mean, I guess it's in by 1, which means definitely buy it. And with this game, there's no reason not to buy it, you know? Like, it's basically only like I got the entire pack of Fallout 1, 2, and 3 for only $15, a hard copy of it. So there's not much of a reason not to do it. And I'm going to need to double check my sources here, but I'm not sure how much it is worth on Steam. I've just searched and it seems like you can get Fallout 1, 2, and Tactics for only $5 online. Yeah, getting a CD key code online. So it's definitely worth it, and most of you might already have it. So overall, great game. Thank you all for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.